Hey guys, it's Dave. So we made it 1 year. That is half of the beginning of life expectancy. So we did it, we're there, we're on this journey. If you guys stick around and watch this video, I'm kind of going to go over how I'm feeling right now and what I think has been helping. So check it out.
Okay.
So the highlights right now, another shift from my highlights now from a day-to-day basis is, I always hated going to bed, but you go to bed so you can wake up the next day and go to work, blah, 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 blah. Now I'm at home. I have physical therapy 3 days a week, but like my main things, which I'm not even acting as excited. I try to be a lot cooler than I am, but I live for my wife and kids to get home. Now, my wife takes a lunch break now, which rocks. It's like right in the middle of the day. I have like a read with Dave where I'll do audiobooks the first 3 or 4 hours. Then I have Pat McAfee show. Shout out Pat McAfee. Then Natalie comes, changes me. It's like, oh, you know what? I figured it out. I just now processed. I am a dog that's at home all day and waiting for his master to come let him out to pee or to give him something to drink or make sure he didn't chew anything in the house. And then I sit out the window. I literally will sit out the window in my chair and like, I'm going to start barking at people. Dang it, I am the dog in this scenario.
You have a dog.
I do have a dog, and now I feel even worse. But he usually, now that I am not as mobile, he just sits beside me. Like, it's cool because he's going through the same phases. He's becoming an old dog, and we're just 2 old dogs sitting. Right now, I'm feeling mentally, it's a big mental fatigue. But no, so like I'm trying to take each day by day. I feel weak, I feel tired, my breathing, like it's a drag. It's getting to the point where mentally, like it's a little bit harder for me to be as jovial. I still have those great days where like I don't remember what I'm feeling. And it's easier to be distracted with a 3 and a 5-year-old in the house. But I'm also at a point where I cherish. So I went through, I think, the first couple phases with the diagnosis. You're like, you deny, like, no, I don't have it. Their doctors are wrong. Then I was super depressed. Then there's the acceptance. And then there's something else, and then there's grief. I'm like in between the something else right now, where I know my body is breaking down and losing function, but I still am able, like, I need to get out of my headspace sometimes because I'm still able to experience growth with my kids. I still have a loving wife, a loving care team. Like, I can still get out of my head, get out of my body, and still like help my daughters learning how to read right now. So I read her a book last night. Like, Bear is in the wild man phase where I can't contain him, but we named him Bear, so that's our fault. He's a wild animal. I can't keep up with him. He's at that phase now, at least, where he's like, I love you, Dad, which is awesome. So how I'm feeling overall, my body's breaking down. I've made it past the depression part, but now it's like accepting it, being sad, being mad, but also like life still goes on, the world's still spinning. So it's like I'm stuck in that I'm not a dumb know-it-all 20-something. This was supposed to be the phase where I worked my ass off. And I feel like I'm getting robbed of time to be able to help my family kind of get to the spot where we wanted to be financially. So that's a huge kick in my stomach, is not being able to work and help provide. But I'm mature enough now, because I'm almost in my 40s, to know that I'm still like, I can still help my kids. They're like, shape them with my views and morals and ethics, or how to make the world a better place, love your neighbors. I can kind of teach that to my kids now. So getting out of being sad and mad, I'm never going to get out of being sad and mad, but when I am learning, when I'm disassociating, that I still have to be present for my kids, and like, I don't want to rob them of the time, the temporary time that I have. That's another thing, shoot, I want to add to that, is my realization for time is, it was so screwed up, but like going from working 2 jobs having 2 young kids, coming from a marriage where we were both working 40 plus hours, like careers was first, and then this and this and this, then making time for each other. So now, like, my fragment of time, someone's like, what did you do this week? I'm like, what is today? What is the time? What is this time you speak of? So I feel like on a larger scale and level, I'm like evolving still, and I'm still growing and learning, which is awesome. I think you're supposed to do that until you die. You're supposed to learn from yourself, or I don't know. Yeah, that's how I'm feeling. I feel like there's like a time, like you're supposed to, the community, they all help each other out and like give advice. And I'm always like, oh, woe is me. But I remember that there's a whole bigger thing. So like, I think there's a time where I'm gonna have to answer this fellow's question. So I'll tell you a little bit about the community of ALS, the group of people, not just the person living with ALS. There's the caregivers, which I don't think caregivers get enough praise, but there's the family members of those living with ALS. We all know friends or have people that have been affected by ALS, but I don't know how other diseases are, or other, like, I don't know if their communities are as like active and as like connected as the ALS community. And like there's Slack groups, there's messaging forums, there's the association, there's several associations that like they're advocating, whether it's new laws or dealing with insurances, dealing with healthcare professionals, but just the fact of like people living with ALS and caregivers living with ALS. There's some who they caregived for somebody who passed away 15 years ago, but that person had such an effect on them that now they like donate all their time and all their energy into ALS. So they'll reach out to who needs a caregiver, or who has questions about dealing with this person, or dealing with their husband, or dealing with their wife. There's a couple in Oklahoma City, they're younger. Michael Wilson's been living with ALS for, I want to say 8 or 9 years. His wife, Wendy, is close to my wife's age. And they reached out like right when we don't do all the weekly meetings or like the monthly meetings, just because with our schedule and with the kids it's kind of tough. Most of our families in other states are far away, so we don't have babysitters do it. But anyways, they're always a text, a phone call, an email away that like we've gone out to dinner with them a couple times when they live in Oklahoma City, but when they came to Tulsa, we all met up to dinner. But she's like, if Natalie has any questions about equipment or how did you guys handle this situation. We also, a friend of ours he was diagnosed around the same time as me, him and his wife. He was an old Phil was an airplane pilot, and his wife's a nurse. Like, the community is awesome. Like, reach out, get active with your community. If you don't reach out, they're going to find a way to find you and like make you feel like you're not alone. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, ALS community is awesome. I've never felt so connected with strangers in my life, so it always feels good that you're not going through this alone, but with other people. So another subtopic I was going to talk about is socially living with ALS. And I kind of talk about my self-coping and like the different stages of me personally, how I felt, like through the sadness, the depression, the denial, the this and this and that. But that whole phase where I'm depressed, and I've battled with mental illnesses my entire life, so I kind of know I can be the social I can be sad at home, but I was the type C where like I get a recharge and express myself by being out socializing with friends, but I also need to go home, decompress, be alone, and kind of let it all out, because it's kind of takes a lot of energy for me to go be the funny boy or the goof dog or the silly Sally. I felt like I had to keep up a certain facade, or I still had to be the funny boy. So dealing with something so serious, like I didn't want to be seen outside because I didn't mind like people making fun of me or like, Dave, you're an idiot, you're a dork, your feet are weird sized. Those kind of jokes I can handle, but I'm like so insecure and so like I had to murder my pride. So I'm vulnerable. So socially, I had like a whole other social anxiety, like through another tier, because I'm like, I'm in my late 30s. You don't really make new friends. You have your friends that you're really good friends you have, but we had kids in young schools, so you're having to meet like parents. You're beginning to have more parents friends or like kids, parents friends. You're having work friends, like you have other phases of friends that like without me working, I'm retired now, I lost that group of friends. Distant friends are like, I can't hang out with this guy, he's in a wheelchair. This is how I feel. No one's actually said this, but they're like, I can't invite him to go golf now. I can't hang out with him at that bar. I don't want to be associated with him because his home life probably sucks now. Which I don't know how my friends in my actual friend group, how they think about all this. Like, I have an extraordinary like love and like I feel it. I know there are people like, Natalie, what can I do for you? How can we help? We felt that, but we know we're younger too. How do people handle death? Everyone handles it differently. Not everyone who's been exposed to death. It freaks people out. So for me, I was kind of scared, shy, embarrassed. I made it past that. Now I'll go out socially. If I go out, I feel awesome. I feel like I don't care anymore, so like I'm not embarrassed anymore. But then now there's like other levels, like, is that going to be ADA? It's a good thing it's 2025 and not 1980s, because now everything's ADA, blah, blah, blah. But now we're like, do we have to bring our ramp to get into that, to get my rig into that establishment? Or is there seating for a wheelchair fella? So like, I feel like it's more of a burden or a nuisance. And no one's actually said these things. It's just, this could be my internal monologue just trying to bog me down. But it feels like it's more of a nuisance now. When we used to get ready and roll out of bed and put a clean outfit on. Now it's like, Natalie, will you change my catheter? Will you wipe my butt? Will you put deodorant on me? So it's another like timeline thing. It's stressful, but I need it. That's how I get a recharge from people. That's how Natalie gets a little like break from me, because my friends, every time we go out, they're like, you need a drink, Dave? You need help eating that sandwich, that hoagie sandwich? You want me to put that hot dog in your mouth? And I'm like, no, get that hot dog away from me. But like, with all serious and silliness, like, I have to have the recharge, but mentally I know it's like, this isn't forever when I'm actually like vegetable bound. I want to live up this time while I still can and still get out and about. I feel like the Grim Reaper or God or the angel or the devils. I can feel them kind of just looking at me like poking with a stick. Like, are you dead yet? I'm still going. I'm still going. I'm gonna have you make me a cocktail. Oh, mama. Oh, good God.